All right, the going is pretty good for the markets, ladies and gentlemen. So still up 4.5% on the Nifty, 8450 is holding, and big moves coming in. Double-digit gains now for Axis Bank, M&M and IndusInd Bank, all three up about 10 to 17 odd percent. But let's talk about the real estate space now. JC Sharma of Sobha is with us to talk about the operational update of the company and also the COVID-led disruption that the industry is facing. Mr. Sharma, thanks so much for joining us on the show, and hope you guys, your entire team is staying home and staying safe. I wanted to first look at the operations for Q4. Sales value, of course, has fallen about 8% compared to last quarter. But how do you see things shape up over the next few months? Because of the lockdown, do you see a major impact on the business?
Good morning and thanks for your wishes. See, as far as our sector is concerned, definitely today till we are in the lockdown and how far it is going to continue, keeping that kind of an uncertainty in mind, we can safely say that the economy is going to get impacted reasonably badly, and no sector should be remaining prima facie untouched, even except maybe the grocery business or maybe the internet-related businesses. That's what the broader understanding we have got. At the same time, we do believe that the demand, as far as our sector is concerned, it is primarily getting deferred. I'm talking about at the macro level, not from the Sobha's perspective till now. And the demand is getting deferred, and at some point of time, our belief is it is going to come back because the macro environment had never been so good as much as what we are seeing today. The work from home concept, if you look at, it should favor us in selling more number of homes. The interest rates, if you look at, with the repo and the reverse repo at its lowest level and the home loan rate almost going to touch 7%, with the income tax benefits, we believe that also will be a big trigger point. Our sector also is expecting that to revive the demand, somewhere the government will be listening to the suggestions which the body will be making, the CREDAI and the NAREDCO, to the government, which may include certain benefits on the GST front or maybe certain criteria to be revised as far as the PMAY is concerned. And all these things should be able to revive the demand. Whatever little bit we have known, the Great Depression in 1930s in America could be revived with the housing starts, and we should be there to ensure that we rise to the occasion and revive this economy. That's at the macro level. At the micro level, we have got to... Sorry,
sure, but
you were saying... Hello?
Yeah, no, Mr. Sharma, at the micro level is what I wanted to understand, not so much about demand, but about liquidity. If this continues, if the lockdown continues, the impact on sales will be high. Do you foresee a liquidity crunch from banks and financial institutions? Up until now, of course, you've said that you're not having any major working capital issues, but do you think things could get tough on the liquidity front over the next few months?
See, at micro level, my belief is that today banks have got nowhere to go but to support the real estate companies who are doing well, who are servicing their interest. In our case, we have serviced all our interest till 31st of March, and we have got enough liquidity to tide over for the whole year. That much comfort we have got with the undrawn limits, what we enjoy today from the banks, and the working capital unspent limits. We have got a beautiful business that backward integrated, where the order book is quite robust. 1/3 of our revenue comes from the contracting and manufacturing. That order book and those clients remain with us, and we believe that we should be doing as good as, if not better, on the contracting and manufacturing side in this financial year. Then 70% plus of our market comes from Bangalore, and it is continuing to do well. We do not foresee any kind of despondency that Bangalore market will behave irrationally.
Okay.
Fortunately, if you look at our operational performance, all the key markets, the Bangalore market, the Gurgaon market, the Chennai market, and the Pune market, it had outperformed in 1920 result.
Okay.
The previous year. So we are quite optimistic that we should be in a position to capitalize as and when this lockdown kind of an impact is over.
Okay. Well, Mr. Sharma, what about the commercial, the lease rentals? Are people paying, or will they demand that you give them some moratorium or some waiver?
See, we are too insignificant a player.
Okay.
But what we have followed is that in this ritual we have got a mall, that from the day of the lockdown till it opens up, the rental we may not pay, but the camp charges the lessees have to pay.
The lessees will have to pay?
Yeah,
Okay.
the maintenance charges. It is meant for them only.
Okay.
We need to recover it from them.
Okay, okay. What's the debt situation at the moment? I think you said that you have reduced it in Q4.
Yes, we have reduced in the Q4. That is the only quarter where, after meeting all our costs,
Okay.
interest, and the capex, we have been able to bring down our debt levels also. And our interest cost also has come down in the last financial year. And we hope going forward that this interest cost also will come down significantly.
Okay.
So we remain clear that interest costs coming down, benign material prices, the reasonable demand remaining intact, the contracting business, the Bangalore and the other metro cities going to do relatively better. I am not talking about the overall economic sort of the thing. We should not have much of an issue in managing this financial year also.
So far, what about the commercial business and the rent that you guys receive? Are you seeing any delays in terms of rent payments by companies?
We do not have. We have just finished letting out one of the commercial space in Bangalore before this lockdown got started, and most of the guys, they are doing the interiors, so we are not having any issue on that front also.
Okay, and what about the launches? Do you think you'll have to scale down your overall launch target? I mean, you did say that launches of over 14 million square feet is possible in the coming quarters, but given the lockdown and the possibility of an extension, will you scale down that target?
As it looks like, we are not going to scale it down because we hardly have got any finished stock inventory to begin with. When we launch a project, we are not releasing all the towers at a time for sale sort of a thing. Only when the 70% of a particular tower is sold, we are releasing the next one. The expenses are already committed, save except some plan approval and the starting cost, which is reasonably manageable. And in my view, this will be an opportunity of the lifetime where we will have the highest possible launch in the coming financial year. And in most of the places where the launches are happening, the existing inventory is cool, and they are not being launched in the locations where we have already got the ongoing projects. So it has been done scientifically, and we hope that this should add to our sales numbers because there will be highest ever new launches by us in our history and maybe in the sector in this financial year, coming financial year.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sharma, we will leave it at that. Thank you very much. Let's hope that your hopes are realized, that the Bangalore market will return to some robustness very soon after the lockdown is lifted. At the moment, the ID stocks are still very cheerful, so hopefully, there will be brisk business in Bangalore. We take a break from equity markets and shift to commodity markets now. There is a lot of activity over there on crude. Manisha Gupta joins us. Manisha, that's on your list as well, crude?
Oh, well, it is, yes. And we have